There is a difference between fighting for something you know will happen and waiting for something you know will. By September 1956, the machinery had already turned. A general election had been held. The convention's People's Party had secured a 2/3 majority. The motion for independence had passed 72 votes to none, the opposition absenting themselves. The constitutional condition laid down in London on May 11th had been fulfilled. Procedure had been satisfied. Destiny now required a signature. On August 23rd, the formal request was sent to the governor. Transmit to the Secretary of State a declaration fixing a firm date for independence. After that, nothing to do but wait. And for perhaps the first time in his life, Kwame Nkrumah discovered the peculiar tension of certainty. Not hope, certainty. The pledge would be honored. It was now a matter of timing. On Monday, September 17th, the private telephone rang. On the line, Sir Charles Adam Clark, the governor. I have received some good news for you. At 3 p.m., Nkrumah arrived at Government House. The governor's face gave it away before the envelope did. A dispatch from the Secretary of State. Long paragraphs, formal tone, diplomatic pacing. Then paragraph 5. Full independence intended for March 6, 1957. The tears blurred the rest of the page. The man who had once signed his detention order now extended his hand in congratulations. This is the end of what you struggled for. No, Nkrumah corrected gently. It is the end of what we have struggled for. He will return in the morning to collect the document officially. They both agreed it would be better the nation would hear it from his lips. But first, he had to survive the longest night of his life. He descended the white stone steps of the castle. He had walked those steps many times before. As a detainee, as agitator, as prime minister under colonial supervision. Never like this. He felt as if he were walking on air. The seat in his car would feel as if he was sitting on a cloud. Never had he felt this soft and comfy. He briefly snatched back into reality from the anxious face of his driver awaiting his directions. "Oh, take me home," he said. Though Sajiful was totally lost in the sauce. That night, sleep totally abandoned him. His life replayed itself like a procession. Nzima boy, Achimota scholar, Lincoln student in America, London activist, positive action, imprisonment, release, election, victory. 10 years of struggle compressed into a single sheet of paper. March 6, 1957. The 113th anniversary of Bond of 1844. The agreement that formalized British political control. The next morning was his 47th birthday. Feeling forever young, he greeted his mother downstairs. She noticed his restlessness. She asked nothing. At 10:45 a.m., he returned to the government house. The dispatch was placed into his trembling hands. At noon, the same moment the news would be broadcast in Britain, he would rise in the Legislative Assembly. He had already arranged with the Speaker that, given the gravity of the announcement he intended to make, he would be recognized immediately upon rising. He endured the routine debate that preceded it, scarcely hearing a word. His attention drifted, his thoughts elsewhere, his eyes returning again and again to the clock as the minutes moved with deliberate slowness. If anyone ever needed proof that time can stretch without moving, it was in that chamber. At exactly noon, he stood. The chamber fell into sudden silence. It was 3 minutes past 12 when he began. He announced that 2 dispatches of vital importance had been authorized for publication. Her Majesty's government will introduce a bill into the United Kingdom Parliament to accord independence to the Gold Coast, subject to Parliament approval. Full independence will come into effect on March 6, 1957. For a few sacred seconds, silence. Then eruption. Cheers unlike any heard before in that chamber. Some members wept openly. Even the opposition rose to welcome the announcement. He then read a section concerning British Togoland, whose plebiscite had produced a clear majority for union with an independent Gold Coast, pending UN endorsement. He added, Her Majesty's government has noted our desire to rename the country Ghana upon the attainment of independence, and the necessary legal steps would be taken to give effect to this desire. The assembly went wild. He was lifted onto shoulders and carried into the streets. The masses sang thunderously, "There is victory for us."
In the struggle of CPP, there is victory for us.
The following day, the tone changed. Independence meant full responsibility. Foreign policy, defense, law and order, currency stability. He invited the opposition to work article by article on the new constitution. He cancelled cabinet recess. A white paper would be issued. Before broadcasting to the nation, he hosted a tea party for the children of Accra. Hundreds arrived. Balloons burst. Lemonade spilled. The police band played. He announced the school holiday. That evening, in his broadcast, he urged unity and seriousness. Ghana would sail alone now, as a newly launched ship facing the high seas. And as Tosajifu imagined himself standing on that bridge, shading his eyes from the bright African sun, he scanned the horizon. There was more beyond. Forward ever, backwards never. My name is Jete, Papa Jete, with over 1,000 hours experience in virtual and live tours of Africa's history and culture. I'm here to share what textbooks never could. Welcome to the Culture Hub, where Q stands for quintessential. If you're enjoying the Culture Hub, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, the bell notification, and share with someone who needs this. I promise to make this journey worth it. And remember, you are royalty, so keep it cultured.
Stick with us, the Culture Hub, that'll be dope, right? Then roll with us, the Culture Hub, that'll be cool, right? Then stick with us, the Culture Hub, that'll be dope, right? Yeah, I'm here for